Welcome to my journey of becoming a UKMD. Hi, guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Angel, a Ukraine trained medical doctor working on gaining GMC registration so that I can practice in the United Kingdom. Today's video, I'm going to talk about my OET journey, what I've done so far, how much money I've spent so far, how much money I'm yet to spend in this OET journey, and some things that I've done that maybe you realize you can also do, or some things I didn't do that you realize you can actually do, just so that it helps you. I was thinking of releasing this video after my OET vlog, but I think it's going to come before the OET vlog, just so that if someone needs this video to help them make a decision before they book their OET test, it actually comes in time and it's not too late for it to influence their decision or for it to help them make a decision. So this is why this video is coming before my OET vlog. And so since you have not watched my OET vlog yet, I have to say it in this video that I got my OET results. I applied for a remarking and I still did not get 400 in my writing section. And so I have to take OET again for the third time. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to talk about my OET journey. So my OET journey started in, I think, April of 2022. It started in 2022 because at the time, myself and a couple of friends, we had heard that we probably could apply for the foundation program before we completed school. At that time, we were in our first semester of final year, so we thought that we could apply before we finish. So we decided to start preparing for our OET. So we're preparing for it in April. There was a group of us. We got someone to take us through, and for that course, it was a 4-week course with a person, and we paid £90 for her to take us through. We met like almost every day during the week, and on the weekends we did mock tests. But then, like in the third week of the course, we realized that we actually cannot apply until we have completed. But then we were going to complete by December or January, so we actually didn't qualify. So we completed the course, all right, but then we didn't take the test, the OET test that year as we had hoped. And so 2022 didn't take the test. In 2023, my final exam, or what I thought was my final exam of medical school in January, I had it in January. So I had booked my OET for the end of February already. But then, as at the time I was taking my OET, we didn't know, or we were yet to find out, that we were going to be required to write another exam. Because of the war, the war in Ukraine, everything was just, not very clear, kind of confusing. So at that time, or after, I think after I wrote my OET, actually, was when we realized that there might be another exam. So much confusion. We didn't know what was happening, but I had taken my exam anyway. And then my results came, and I had 460 in my listening, and I think my reading and my speaking also I had over 400. But my writing I had 320. So I applied for a remarking. My OET at the time, it cost about £330, and then I applied for a remarking, which costs I think roughly £60. So these three costs so far, I had spent 480. But then my grade changed. My score, I had a C plus, and it changed to a B because my score changed from 320 to 390. So because there was a grade change, I had my remarking fee refunded. So that took me back to having spent £420. And later in the year, like a month or some weeks later, we found out that we might actually be required to go back to Ukraine to write our final exam. That's the COC 2, before we could get our certificate. And so I knew I had to take my OET again because it didn't qualify me for foundation program. So I knew I had to take it again. But then it would also depend on when I write my final exam, because we were trying to fight for it to be organized outside of Ukraine or be cancelled. But it was looking really bleak. Some of our friends actually went back to Ukraine because we didn't know how long we had to wait and all. So somewhere in May, we found out that they're actually going to organize it outside of Ukraine for us. Then we can take it wherever you are or close to wherever you are. And then at the time, I was like, okay, maybe I could actually rewrite my OET. But then my COC 2 was going to be in June. And if I wanted to be able to apply for foundation program, I'd have to write my OET also like by middle of June. And I didn't think I could combine preparing for both exams, like trying to figure out what went wrong in my OET and at the same time prepare for my COC 2 after like a 5 month break of studying. So I decided that I'll just focus on my COC 2, pass that, and then I'll take my OET later. So in 2024, I booked my OET again, and this time because of the rates, it was £310. So after booking my second OET test, I had spent 730 in my OET journey, and I got my results. And like I said earlier, I did not meet the required score, which is 400. I had 370 in my writing, I had 450 in the other three sections. So I thought to myself, I actually prepared much better for my OET this time, like all around. I could tell that I prepared much better than last year. So, if last year, with the preparation that I did, I was able to move from a 320 to a 390, then it's quite likely that if I apply for a remarking this time, I would be able to at least get those 30 points to move me from a 370 to a 400. So I applied for a remarking and paid another £60, which brought my total cost for my OET to 790. I got my results today, the day of recording this. I got my results this morning, and my results did not change. It was still 370. So now I have to take my OET again. I could take IELTS instead. The results come faster or earlier, it's cheaper. And now there's the IELTS one skill test retake. I made a video on that. If you've not watched it, I will link it and you can watch that. There probably could be so many points in favor of the IELTS, but I don't know. I just don't think I can do the IELTS. I actually looked up the sample questions this morning for the writing, and I don't know. I don't think I'm able to answer that question within the space of time that they need. I think it's 20 minutes for the task one. I'm not sure that I can do it because I looked at the question and I tried to just brainstorm what the answer could be. I don't know, maybe I've already blocked out my mind for IELTS or something, but I just couldn't. So I had to look at the sample answer and I was like, I don't think I could have come up with this in 20 minutes. So I'm thinking of taking the OET again. So if I'm going to take the OET again, the available date at the moment is next week and then middle of June. So middle of June is my best bet so that my results come by end of June and I know that I can make it for the foundation program eligibility application in July. So if I'm going to book my OET again this year, so that's another £310, which will bring my total to £1,100. And this time though, I'm thinking of booking like some OET writing correction services. I actually thought of them like when I was booking my previous OET, but then I was only looking at the services provided by the OET accredited partners, and they're quite expensive. They're like half the price of OET, and theirs is actually like duration based. So some are like for 4 months, for six months, a year. I think I was looking at them in like February to April is like just 2 months. It wasn't worth it to me. So I decided to just do it on my own. And even doing it on my own, I think I did really well to have gotten a 370 on my own preparation and just like getting a few pointers from friends who actually, well, colleagues who read through the essay for me. So this time though, I am going to actually get that correction service, but not from the accredited partners, from Benchmark. I learned that like people actually use Benchmark. I think I had heard of Benchmark before, but I don't think I paid any much attention to them. And when I was checking, the main reason I kind of focused on the accredited partners was that the other companies that I saw online, it's like, I don't know them. Can I trust their feedback? So now I'm going to go with Benchmark because there are stories of people who have actually gone with Benchmark corrections and it helped them. So this time I'm going to go with Benchmark. I actually saw a different one this morning. I think it's OET correction or something. I will link their websites down as well. And for them, it was $29.99 for 8 essay corrections. But that's a sale. They're doing a sale. The actual price is $49.99. So I saw that 29.99 and I sent it to a couple of colleagues that I was practicing for the speaking test with. And that's when they mentioned the benchmark to me. And I went to check benchmark out. And benchmark is also $40 for the same 8 essays. And I'm thinking that since benchmark is kind of known, other than that company, I will go with benchmark. So that's $40. And $40 is approximately like 32 pounds. So if we add that to my grand total, that's going to bring me to £1,132. And I am believing God that by the time I get my next results, I will get the score that I will get the 400 in the writing that I need so that I can apply. And this amount of money that I've spent will be the only money that I will have to spend on OET. I don't have to spend any more because £1,132 is a lot of money. And so if you're thinking of booking your OET, maybe you have booked your OET already for June or something. If you're thinking of getting like correction services, I think you should go for it because that way you're not getting only feedback from your friends and yourself. Like evaluating yourself, I think is a bit difficult, but you're getting feedback from like professionals or people who have actually helped others make the score that they need. When I do it and it helps me out, I'll come and put it in the comments or the description that actually helped me. I'll post on my Instagram, so please do follow me there or something. I will share it everywhere that it helped me because supposing I had thought of that, even if I had gone for the expensive correction services last year, what I would have spent would have probably been like half of the amount of money I've spent up till now, or the amount of money I would have spent after paying for my next test and then the correction services. So if you're thinking of going for correction services, probably go for it. And yeah, because they are like professionals or they're experts, and they're going to give you like feedback on your essays, point out where you went wrong, point out where you can do better to make sure that you make the 400 that you need. One other thing that I've realized throughout this OET journey is that for most of us that are writing OET, we speak English already. When you come to the terms of English proficiency test, you are a native speaker. So when you write the test and you don't get the score that the foundation program office requires, that's the 400, it makes you feel like a failure. It makes you feel like you didn't do well. But actually, you did very well. Because this morning, I had 317 in my writing, and I'm feeling like I didn't do well. I've written this thing so many, like twice. I've prepared for so long, and still I didn't make the, like I failed my OET test. I actually did not fail because I've already been able to book my PLAB with the previous scores. But supposing I was now going to, this is like very good enough to qualify me for my PLAB booking. But the foundation program office just requires a very high mark, which is 400. We didn't fail. We have actually done well. People have gotten like over 300, over 350, some even over 400 in some sections, and it's just the writing section that you fall short of the 400 and we feel like we have failed, but we actually have not failed. It's just a very high score that the foundation program office needs, and for some reason we don't seem to get it. So if you have to do something extra, pay something extra to get you the 400, please do, because I don't think you're going to pay £800 for that something extra to bring you to my total of 1,100. By the time that this video comes out, if your exam is the first week of June, probably still have like 2 weeks, which I think is still a good time for you to get feedback on your essays. If you have just 1 week left, you can probably find, I don't know, I think they have an option for like 4 essays, or even if it's just one essay, so that you know where you stand and you don't go in with just your own assessment or assessment of like your colleagues, but then you're going in with the assessment of a professional, so you know where you stand, you know what you can add, you know what you could take out to be able to help you get your 400 score. So this has been my OET journey so far. I still have to write again, and I will book the correction services, and I will keep you updated on that. If you're hoping to apply to the foundation program this year, we have a Telegram group. You can join us. We have like-minded people who are also applying for the foundation program this year in July. So you can join us. I'll put the link in the description. If you're not applying this year, you're applying next year, the following year, or you're even just thinking about if coming to the UK to work as a doctor is an option for you, I have a Telegram channel where I put some of the information, documents, resources that I come across. I put it there so that you can also easily access it The link to that will also be in the description. You can follow me on Instagram, on LinkedIn. The links will be in the description box as well. And if you want to reach out to me, when you join the Telegram group or the Telegram channel, you would see my name. I think it shows as owner or admin or something. You see my name there, Angel, and you can contact me there. My email is there as well. You can send me an email if you need to. But I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope that it actually helps someone make a decision or not. But I just hope it gives you some insight as to how much money you can avoid spending, but just so that you don't have to spend as much money as I have or as I am going to spend on my OET journey. So I hope this video has been helpful. And as always, join me and let's go on this journey together. Bye.